Welcome to the final edition of the Wonder Way podcast in 2023.
Way to clarify that. We're going to burn it down, but we're still going to be going on 2024 at wonderberry.com, where we all still will be. We'll still be on 2024 at wonderberry.com.
Oh shit! I just threw everything into chaos, didn't I?
I was like, wait, did Dave just quit on air? That was my that was my plan.
See, you can't quit this time because then it would feel like you were just jumping the gun and stealing.
Yeah.
Anyway, how was your Christmas, Brian? Since we completely abandoned the entire intro.
It was a Christmas. Hectic as usual.
Yeah.
I don't like Christmas. I worked retail too much to like Christmas, Dave.
Yeah. This was actually one of the better Christmases in a while. Like, usually Christmas is kind of, I go through some depression stuff because of, it's anniversary of my mom passing and all that. But this year it was all right. I was fairly happy with it.
That's good.
So I'm kind of happy. It was a decent Christmas.
Cool. That's good.
My stepbrother, who I'm finally getting to know better and better, him and his family were over my mom and dad's for Christmas, so it was cool. I got a niece and nephew to get to know better, and we got to know them a lot better and just kind of hang out, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Got to hang out with my brother some, and I got a couple new cast iron things. So
Nice.
I got a cast iron pizza pan, Dave.
Nice.
Yeah. And got a Lodge cast iron burger press. So that'll be fun to use. Excited. Thinking about making pizza this week.
Pizza's always good.
Yeah, doing dough from scratch and making pizza. Maybe I'll do that for New Year's.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. My nephew's birthday is coming up. They're buying a house in Dayton, so he's getting transferred to Dayton for his last few years in the military.
Nice.
So yeah. So they're not going to be that far away. So they're kind of hanging out here all week, and then they'll bounce over and all that fun stuff. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll all be good.
Besides Christmas, we did miss a whole week, but what else you been up to?
Christmas. Yeah, pretty much. I've been. It was kind of weird, like, because last week I was really just down and trying to keep myself busy so I wouldn't sit down and think about stuff too long, which is why we didn't record last week, because I was fully intending on recording last week, and then I just turned into an absolute flake, and yeah, that wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
But
so I spent the whole time just kind of like door dashing all over the place, and
yeah, how's that going?
It's pretty wild. It's some days it's really good, and some days it's kind of blah. It's hit or miss. But I've been coming down to Fort Wayne and doing some dashing, and that is like just busy AF all the time. So.
Oh, Fort Wayne.
Yeah. Like it's like as soon as I get into town, it's like, oh, here's an order, and I get the order, get it delivered, get back in the car, hit done, and it's like, oh, here's an order. I'm like, oh, hustle. Like, I did a 6.5 hour shift the other day. I came down and it was nonstop. And I was like, luckily I'm smart and I bring like cans of water and like I fill my jug of water up before I leave, and I get liquid death water, and I have cans of water in the car, and I put Cliff Bars in my glove box, and I have food and water with me, so I'm like, I don't have to worry about stopping to eat food anywhere.
Well,
So I'm just like, and I'm like, I know where the bathrooms are in the fast food places, so I'm like,
yep.
run in, like, go pee on my way, like, it's so I manage myself while I'm doing it.
Well,
But
if you need to, you can always swing by here for water for pretty much anything.
yeah, I didn't even get close to your place the other day. I came in on 37, I hit open, and I went to Meyer right away. Like Meyer
Yeah.
there on Maysville. And then it took me it took me to PetSmart, and then I just kind of like zigzagged down to New Haven and then down to Southside, and like I didn't even get a chance to get near your place. Like getting to your place would have been impossible. You know, I got 2 blocks away from my brother's house, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pause and go pee at my brother's house because there was I was getting orders for the Dollar General, and they didn't have a bathroom, and I had like 3 orders in a row at the Dollar General, and I was like, I'm getting dangerous levels of like having to pee, like. And then it had me do a delivery, and I was like 2 blocks away from my brother's house. I just pulled in his driveway, and I hit pause in the app. I was like, hey, I got to use your bathroom. And he was like, what the hell are you doing in town? I'm like, I'll tell you in a minute. Like, I just ran inside. Just ran inside. I was like, I got to take a leak. Ran inside. Went to the bathroom.
Well, anytime you're down here, you know where my place is, so.
Yep. Yeah, and if I just come bursting through your door, just know that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've also always got bottles of water. So if you run low or whatever, you can come in and grab a couple bottles of water. Like,
yeah,
I hate the way Fort Wayne water tastes, so it's always we stock up on bottled water.
Yeah, I
Kroger
try
40
not to
packs
do.
are awesome.
Yeah, I try not to do bottles. I stick to liquid death because bottles aren't extremely recyclable. I stick with cans because the recyclable content in a can is more like 95 to 98%.
Brian.
What?
Brian.
Dave, I'm trying to save what's left of the earth.
You're trying to save what's left of the earth. I'm just trying to speed up the process in which we all die.
You know, I went to a gun show the other day and asked him if I could buy just like a single 9mm bullet and how much it would be just to rent the gun for 20 minutes. And the guy just looked at me and I was like, well, is there a guarantee that this bullet will work? And he just looked at me and was like, and none of them, and I was just like,
have you ever seen that? Like, Alfred Hitchcock did those Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah.
You ever watch those Alfred Hitchcock Presents? They're like the Alfred Hitchcock short stories or short films or whatever. Have you seen the one where it's he's talking about the cure for insomnia?
If I have, I don't remember.
He's talking about he has a nice little cure for insomnia, and he says they come in these wonderful little pills, and he starts pulling out bullets because it also comes with this handy applicator, and he has his gun. It's like, oh my god, this is phenomenal.
He was so good at being deadpan on his deliveries too. Oh god, I loved
so
him.
Good. So good.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. Oh god, I had man, I was having a couple of rough deliveries, you know, and I'm alone in my car and just kind of driving. I listen to podcasts, when I'm driving, or sometimes I call and talk to people, and I was kind of lost in my head one day. It was Christmas Eve. I was just driving around, and this lady ordered McDonald's, and the McDonald's was closed, and I had to go to the drive-thru, and I hate doing the drive-thru because the window in the car is broke, so I have to like pull up and unlock the door, like open the door cockeyed and weird, and I had to park cockeyed and weird at the drive-thru window, and I'm like, fucking Christ, this sucks. So like, they were trying to like close the whole store and get close so they could go home. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys have to be here. You know, and every time I go to anywhere on Christmas Eve or like on a holiday, I'm always like, I'm sorry, you guys have to be here. Like, I don't want to be here either. Like, I hate traveling on holidays. But like, I didn't want to sit at home. So I was just like out and about and working. So I picked up the McDonald's order and I drove it over to this apartment complex and took it up the stairs to the second story, and it was like, hand it to me. And it gives you instructions on how to deliver the order. So I like knocked on the door and I waited. I hate those ones. I'm like, I want the ones where it's just like, drop it at the door and go. But I knocked on the door and waited, and the lady answered. She was, pretty quick about it. It was kind of an older lady, probably 60s or something. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then handed me a $20 cash tip. And I was like, whoa. And I'm just like, oh, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Cash tips are awesome.
Yeah. I didn't, I don't usually get cash tips because it's usually like drop it at their door and go. So I'm normally just like, ba-doop, out the door, go, go, go. Out the door, go, go, go. That one just kind of like blew my mind. Normally when it's a like hand it to me person, they're like a $0 tip in the app. So I did not expect that. I don't know why the hand it to me people don't like the tip, but
Yeah, who knows?
yeah. They're normally the asshole-ish kind of people, it seems like. But this lady was just like, here's a and then I got back and I hit end in the app, and she had also tipped me in the app, and I'm like, what in the fuck? What? I want I want to go back in there and give her a hug. This lady changed my whole day. Aww.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. And then I ended the night, and I was like, I'm ready to go. I'm so tired. So ended the night, and I was like, my last order came in like 5 minutes before I had scheduled myself to be done. I was like, okay, I'll do my last one. Pops up and it says, go to NASCAR Burger and Tenders. I'm like, what the hell is that? I've never heard of that. NASCAR has restaurants? And it's like, pull into the IHOP. What? Do you know what a ghost kitchen is, Dave?
No.
Okay, so sometimes these entrepreneurial types get these ideas to create a restaurant, but they don't actually want to open a restaurant, so they contact other restaurants and they say, hey, I have these recipes. I want to open a restaurant and like just ship food out through like DoorDash and Uber Eats only. Will you guys make the food for me? And then we'll just have the pickup service pick it up when people order it. And that's how the restaurant's made. And Mr. Beast does it, and he does really, really well with his because he specifically goes into towns, finds restaurants that aren't doing so hot, and helps those restaurants out. So he found, I don't remember what the restaurant was. It was in Fort Wayne, and that you can look up what restaurant it was. And there was an article where the owner of the restaurant was like, yeah, we were about to close, and Mr. Beast, we started doing the Mr. Beast Ghost Kitchen, and like we're saved. Like that's pretty much our whole business now is we just make Mr. Beast burgers.
Interesting.
Yeah. So apparently NASCAR has a ghost kitchen in IHOPs. and they make burgers and they make chicken tenders or something. I didn't actually look at their menu. I had to pick up 2 burgers there for somebody named Crazy Horse G. So I
Weird.
pull.
Crazy Horse G.
Yeah. I pull into the IHOP and I go in. It is slammed because it's like the only thing open at 10 o'clock on a freaking on Christmas Eve. You know, IHOP is the only thing open. And I'm like, oh boy, there's other people waiting on their pickup orders. There's like 3 other Door Dashers there. There's Uber Eats people there. I get in there and I'm like, oh Lord, like, shit. I'm gonna be here forever.
Interesting.
So I sit there for like 30 some minutes waiting on this guy's order for 2 burgers. And I'm messaging the guy in the app. I'm like, hey, like just letting you know what's going on. Like literally every seat in here is full. There's 6 people standing and waiting. There's a couple of other people sitting and waiting. I don't know what order I am in any of this. Like they say they're trying to get to everything, but I have no idea what order I am in any of this. Like I'm messaging the guy. I'm not getting any messaging back. Like, but I still keep messaging in the app. And sat there for like 30 minutes or more, just waiting. Like do. Sometimes if I wait too long at a restaurant, it'll be like, hey, you've been waiting forever. Do you want to unassign this order? And I just kept waiting and hoping that would pop up so I could be like, yep, and be done and go home. But it didn't give me that. It just let me sit there. And I'm like, God damn it. Of course, this would be the one, like the one that's 30 minutes after my shift ended. You know, I was tired as fuck. So I'm just sitting in the IHOP like, stupid NASCAR burger, and that stupid dude didn't even get onions on it. Onions are too spicy for this NASCAR dude. And finally, they're like, oh, here's the one for you. Have Crazy Horse G. We have Crazy Horse G. And I was like the first one of all of the Dashers in the pickup orders that they called. And it was funny because it was just this little trans person came out and yells, I got a DoorDash for Crazy Horse G. And everybody like all of the pickup people and everything just start laughing at the name. And I'm laughing and I stand up. I put my hand up and I go, that's mine. We're all kind of giggling like, is that a real thing? Crazy Horse G? Like, are you fucking for real? Crazy Horse G? And it's in this like NASCAR bag. And we're all looking at the NASCAR bag. And I went, yeah, Crazy Horse G ordered NASCAR. And we're all sharing like a chuckle. I'm like, all right, good luck on your orders, people. Like, and I go and I hop in the car and I'm like, okay, directions. Where am I going? I go a block. This was at the Coldwater and Coliseum IHOP. I'd spent like the whole day like on the south side of town. And I was like, damn it. I want to get back like to the north side because I need to exit north side of town to get home more efficiently. And like the last order before that brought me up to the north side of town. And I was like, cool. I'm I'm closer to getting out of town, like in the direction I need to be. So I got there and I got to the IHOP, and this took me like I had to deliver it, and I go down a block down south to Clinton, and I turn and there's a trailer park there. I had never seen this trailer park before. And I go into the trailer park and I'm like, obviously I'm delivering a NASCAR order to Crazy Horse G in a trailer park. and I pull up and there's a really old Ford Econoline van sitting in front. And I'm like, obviously it's a Ford Econoline van sitting in front of this beat up trailer in the trailer park. I'm delivering a NASCAR burger with no onions because they're too spicy for Crazy Horse G and his NASCAR order. like, like what the hell? This is the most stereotype thing I have ever seen in my life. The Ford Econoline van sitting in front of a trailer in a trailer park, and I'm delivering a NASCAR burger for Crazy Horse G. This is the most stereotype thing.
That is amazing.
It's like, leave it at my door. And I was like, I bet if I handed it to him, he'd have been like, what do you got, man? You got Dale Earnhardt sticker on the back of your car there? Is that a... I was just like, God damn, I wish I could have handed it to him just to see him. Like, I just wanted to see him come out with like snakeskin boots and a cowboy hat. Like, I bet that van had a Dale Yarborough sticker on it instead of a Dale Earnhardt sticker. I should have looked. Yeah, then I
Oh my.
get back in the car, and it's a $0 tip. And I was like, that motherfucker.
Of course it was.
Motherfucker.
Once again, stereotypical.
Yep.
It's the stereotype.
Stereotype.
Gotta love the stereotype.
Bastard. Fucking Crazy Horse G.
Oh well.
Yeah, that one was fucking hilarious though. I was like, are you kidding me? Crazy Horse G ordering the NASCAR burger. I showed up. It's a trailer in the Ford Econoline van. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? How? Are you kidding me?
That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
Right? I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no. I've finally kind of figured out a recording voice and style, so I've been playing around with different ideas for that, and
nice.
Yeah, so far it's going to be kind of nice.
Good. What are you recording?
It's going to be Minecraft.
Good.
But yeah, there's some 100-day hardcore challenges that I'm going to try to do, but a lot of it's going to be much more cinematic. There's a mod called Replay Mod. That's for fabric mod stuff. And what it does is it saves all the world data and then your player data. So it gives you a snapshot replay of the world around the loaded chunked world around you and your player. And then you can set time markers and change camera movements after the fact. So you don't have to worry about recording and setting up camera stuff at the time. You can do it afterwards. So if you're doing something or like got in a fight with something or whatever, or something happened, you can get really fancy after the fact with camera shots and all that stuff. So there's gonna be a lot more cinematic style that way. And then I think I'm gonna do like a recap narration instead of doing it all of the voice stuff being live.
That'd be cool.
So I think that'd be really cool. So what I'll do is I'll give myself a time frame and see how far in it I can get, like especially for like the time challenge stuff. and we'll play that way. There's some mod packs that I'll play where it's more of an adventure mod pack, and I'll go through and use that to tell the story. So I think it'll be there's ways to do it that'd be kind of awesome. So looking greatly forward to just trying to find a different voice, and all of it's going to be on a different channel because it's all going to be language and family friendly.
Nice.
Not necessarily made for kids, but it'll at least be language based friendly for people who want that, or for kids.
Yeah.
But you make it for kids, and that throws us so many restrictions on.
Yeah.
And screw that. So I've been I've been playing around with OBS and the replay buffer and learning how the replay buffer works. So if I'm doing something that I don't necessarily want to record everything I'm doing, you can set up a replay buffer in OBS, and it saves the last like however many seconds or whatever in a RAM buffer, and then you just hit a button to save that, and it'll save the last X amount of minutes clipped wise directly without having to save everything.
Yeah. Like
So
an
that way,
instant replay something.
because especially with like Minecraft, you can spend hours and hours and hours of doing nothing but just mining, and there's no reason to have a 4-hour mining session all recorded. But if you come across diamonds or you come across something you want, you can save these buffer replays and then quick clip what's going on. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go off and do mining, and then suddenly it's a 30-second montage of it's like, for example, finding a bunch of diamonds. So then I would have some sort of a Christmas music in the background as it's just super cutting all the diamonds that I found. And I don't have to record 5 hours of footage and scrub through all that to find it. I can just take my 10-second clips of me harvesting diamonds.
Yep.
And it builds it to build it that way. And so that makes things a lot easier.
Or where you accidentally fall into some lava.
Yep. Well, I'm going to be doing I think the first one I'm going to end up doing is a sky block, lightly modded sky block, or almost not much modded at all sky block system that I'm gonna try and build something out of that. So, and I'll be doing that hardcore.
Nice.
I haven't played hardcore in a long time, so I figured that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about doing, was doing a sky block. I don't know. I did do a couple of streams on Twitch the last few days, and trying to figure out what to do from there. How to like I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing, really. I don't want to take I don't want to spend a lot of time editing the videos. I don't have a lot of time to be editing videos.
Why
So I
don't we
don't
have a conversation after this, and maybe I can cut my teeth on some more editing, and I can edit us both out, and we'll
well,
figure it out.
that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, what I want to do. I don't even know what I would do to edit the videos, so I don't I don't know.
Well, I can take a look, and we can come up with a voice and a because you know all editing is coming up with a voice and a system that you like,
Yeah,
and then we just kind of go from there.
that's kind of what I was wondering. I was like, I bet I could do the streams and then download it, edit it, and then post it somewhere. You know, whether I post it to YouTube or on my site. And I'm still debating on, like, I might as well just post it to YouTube and then use that to promote my site for all my other stuff. Or do I just skip YouTube altogether and use Twitch as my promotion? I don't know. What's better? What's best? I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of options, and I don't know what's best. I don't know what's good. Trying to do it all on my own and do things different than what anybody else has done before.
Yeah, there are ways to do it different, and then there are some things that you can take that other people have done that works. And it's finding your own voice while taking. So the best way I can explain it is that you find someone that you like, and you don't copy it completely, but you emulate it, right? And then you find things that you wish that those the first people would do differently, and then you kind of modify it to do it slightly different.
Hmm.
And then you just keep each time that you do it, you change a little bit until you find your own voice throughout. And I
Yeah,
actually got that idea from from
probably from me.
no,
That's kind of what I do is I take bits and pieces from everything I see and make up my own.
there was a he was a hockey commentator on NBC for years called Mike Emmerich. He was one of the best voices of televised hockey for years and years and years and years. And he grew up between Fort Wayne and Indianapolis. So he grew up as a massive Comets fan and listening to Bob Chase on the radio. Once he graduated from broadcast journalism school, and he got a job doing play by play and that kind of stuff for hockey, he mimicked Bob Chase's voice and cadence as much as he could until he kind of grew from that to find his own voice in that same kind of style and way. And he said that was the best thing that he could have ever done because it gave him a starting place with someone that was something that was successful. And then he was able to navigate once he got comfortable, then he was able to navigate his own little path forward. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean you kind of find a style that you like for videos, and you take what you want from there, and then you just start building each time you do another one, you build on something else. You take something you didn't like from the previous one, you toss it away and you try something new. And then you slowly over time morph into your own thing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, kind of morphing things.
you'll get there.
Yep. I've already been morphing like how I post my content already too, so
Yep. It's all about slow changes over time.
Mm.
That is
Sure.
100% of what it is.
Sure. Slow changes, Dave. I bet.
Well, you know, you'll get it.
Yeah. Getting
You
there.
will absolutely get it.
Trying trying to build the subscribers into my website.
That's going to be a lot more difficult to do.
Well, I got the whole system built, and I already have a couple. Like I have like I have 4 unpaid and 1 paid subscriber already. which I don't like. It's like for not really like promoting it or doing any sort of like marketing or anything with it, I'm already like, woo, cool. How'd I do that? How's this work? Now what do I do? Which is why I was like, okay, let's work on the marketing situation of this. Like, how do I market this? Let's do the gaming on Twitch. Like, that'll give me a marketing channel. Like, if I stream some gaming, that'll give me a marketing channel. And like, some of the games I like are pretty popular, so that'll work.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think I think so here was when I was trying to kind of go through it. It's difficult to get people to go outside of the norm for those types of things. And that's why a lot of people either use just the built-in members on YouTube, subscribers on Twitch, or Patreon. Because outside of those three main, everything else feels a little sketchy, and getting people to remember to re-up every month. And like there's just a lot of weird things that go into it.
Mm-hmm. They don't have to remember. Like, there's a built-in, like the subscription part's built in. Like they're redoing it every month. That part's built in.
Yeah.
And then it tells them it's powered by Stripe and WordPress. So,
Yeah.
which are both kind of familiar names.
They are, but I think I don't know. Like I would never, and this is someone that's done this for a long time, and unless I knew, like, obviously for you I would do it because I know you. But if I didn't personally know you, there's no way in hell that I would go on an outside. I wouldn't support someone from a website unless I knew
Yeah.
them personally. No way in hell. It is too easy for scam, too much of my information being in a location. I don't know how. Yes, it's powered by WordPress, but also a lot of that reoccurring stuff. How secure is, their site now becomes the least secure thing between a Stripe account and me. And I know what defaults are, but I don't trust always that people have default stuff. And I've never trusted outside of other areas. Because if something goes wrong and my card gets charged 3 times, I don't have a company I can go to go after for it back.
Yeah, it's Stripe.
Because WordPress, no, Stripe will send you to the vendor. I have had problems with Stripe before. They have sent me, and PayPal for that matter. PayPal and Stripe have both sent me to vendors first.
Mm.
And if the vendor doesn't do anything, then I have to wait months for them to do anything else because they have to give the vendor time. And then they try to reach out to the vendor. And I went through that twice and decided I would never do it again. So that's why I'm a little hesitant when it comes to, because even if Stripe fucks up, they still make you go through the vendor because it's the onus is on you to refund.
Yeah.
If there's a problem.
Because Stripe is just a payment processor, like you're using authorized.net.
Yep. And so they instantly blame everything on the vendor until you jump through hoops upon hoops upon hoops to prove that it wasn't. You have to prove a negative to get them to do anything. So yeah, it's like it's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I got one so far, so I set my course and it's working. So I'm gonna
Yeah, no,
keep.
if it works, awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I've always leaned heavy into Patreon when I'm going outside the other.
Yeah. Patreon just takes too much of a percentage. That's why I went with a just standard.
Yep. But if there's also any problems, I have a team of lawyers at Patreon.
Yeah. That's why
Because
I'm gonna.
if someone decides to to charge back, Patreon covers that.
Yeah.
So I'll give them a small percentage to make my life easier. It's just one less thing I have to worry about personally.
Yeah.
And even Patreon, I noticed going from subs on Twitch to Patreon, I lost 80% of my reoccurring monthly subscriptions instantly. So it's a little interesting.
Yeah, I'm a figure it out. I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
make it
no.
work. I'm gonna make it work because this is gonna be the future, Dave. We're breaking down all of these social medias to build our own systems for our own selves.
Yeah, we tried that once. There's a reason why
Yeah,
it failed.
yeah, because the corporations.
I'm still not convinced that it will happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think it'll be a tiny subset, but I
The
mean,
people want the power back, Dave.
yeah, I'm still not convinced.
Yeah.
I would love it to happen. I think it'd be amazing if it happened. I'm just still not convinced.
Well, be a part of the solution.
No, what if I don't want to be part of the solution? What if I just want to sit back and bitch about it?
Yeah, that's kind of what you do.
Let the corporations be part of the solution.
No, they're not. They're greedy.
I I still firmly think that inherently the majority of people are too lazy to admin their own shit, and so we're just going to get stuck with the corporation systems.
Yep.
Threads is going to open up to the Fediverse until the first time that someone is going after Threads because there's a whole bunch of porn and Nazi shit that comes flooding onto their timelines, which, by the way, is already happening. And there's nothing you can do about it. Well,
Yep.
there is now because they finally allowed you to block things. But for a long
Yeah.
time, they didn't let you block anything. So you just had to put up with whatever they promoted. And if they promoted the wrong thing by accident, oops.
Well, you could block stuff on Threads. That was like one of the first features they
You can
had.
block stuff on Threads. You cannot block Threads advertisements on Instagram that show that.
What?
Yeah. That was the
You have,
fun part.
you have Threads advertisements on what?
So there are Threads advertisements that load up onto that you can see, advertising for Threads or whatever. And it will do is on your Instagram reel or on your Instagram, it'll show like a thread from Threads. But
Okay.
because it's an advertisement, you can't block it or hide it. And some of the threads that were getting populated over were very much not what you want.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah. It was very weird. It was very much not fun. I mean, I didn't care, but I'm like, man, if this is happening to me, holy shit, this is not a great starting way.
I did see that they're the number one downloaded app on the iTunes iStore, iPhone. I don't know what the fuck they call their store anymore again. Anyways, they're the number one downloaded app again on Apple. Snapple something.
Nice.
What the fuck is that phone?
I don't know.
So they're back on a growth trend. So there's that. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, the same thing I said to Chris. He was like, "Why are you rooting for Threads?" And I was like, "Cause it's the worst fucking timeline." Or what did he ask me? He said, why is Meta your hero? Or why I don't remember
That is
what
not
the
my
was.
hero. How long has Mastodon been around?
Over a decade.
And they haven't done shit? That's why.
Well, they
The short
have. They have the whole fucking thing built. And
No, I meant
there's multiple clients and multiple servers and everything works fine and everything's great. It's just not popular.
that's what I mean by they haven't done shit.
Yeah, it's just been the nerds and the the social misfits and the outcasts that are there. The way it's always been.
Yep.
And now Meta's like, hey, we could do that. And he said, why are you rooting for them? And I said, well, because this is the worst goddamn timeline.
I'm rooting for them because if you want federated media to become popular, then what people use has to go to federated media.
Yep.
They've had a decade to get people to peel over, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not. It is a pain in the ass to use. It's confusing as shit when you instantly go in and you're like, all right, pick a server. It's like, well, what should I pick for server for? Well, what do you want to do? I want to be on a social media network. Well, you can't do it that way. Now you have to do all this stuff. But make sure you're okay with the server you're on, because they can arbitrarily either not, or they can admin stuff.
Yeah.
And when you give a user 30 choices before they create an account and can start doing basic social media, or they can go to the place that they don't have to make any of those choices, it's very, very simple of what they're going to pick. And that's the unfortunate reality of the difference between the two. I don't like it. I think it's dumb, but
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
Do be how it is. Do
So
be
I don't
how
know.
it is.
I don't know. It's frustrating to me because I I want it to work really, really well. But on the same token, it's very difficult to get behind something that that's not going to have mass appeal. And the way we know it doesn't have mass appeal is because it's been around for a decade. And it wasn't until Twitter started going to shit that people started to think about it. They flooded it. They drove the monthly usage to what, 2.8 million? And then within 2 months after that, it had gone back down to the numbers that it was at before.
No, it went up to like 50 something million and now it's back down to 38 million.
Oh, is it? I thought it was, I was just looking at it. Mastodon user base.
I don't know. Last I was looking at was
February
in the 30s.
2023, Mastodon's users stood at 1.4 million, which was a
Is
stark drop from 2.5 million in December of 2022.
is what is that? What is that coming from? Where's it
Mashable?
hitting Mashable?
According to the founder and CEO, Yugon go. Mastodon's user base between October 2nd and 8th was an estimated connectivity, blah, 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 blah. So it's 1.8 million monthly viewers.
Hmm.
As of, this is now, okay, this is another one from October of 2023. So in October of 2023, the monthly user base was 1.8 million in October of this year. So it is there's users that'll come in, but it's the month over month users. It's the not just registered, but it looks like he's talking.
Is that for app usage, or is that like server connected? Is that mastodon.social? Like, does he actually say what that is? Or
Hang
is
on,
that like
I'm tracking back down.
full?
All right, founder of Mastodon. That's who
Yeah.
the information is coming from.
Okay. That's who it's coming from.
And he said that the Mastodon user base between October 2nd and October 8th was underestimated thanks to a network connectivity issue with statistics aggregator. The app actually has 407,814 more monthly active users than previously reported. This brings the Mastodon's overall monthly user base to 1.8 million.
So that's the app.
That's the user base for Mastodon.
For the app.
It doesn't specify the app itself, but they're connecting that to
That's what you just said.
users.
Mastodon app.
Mastodon social user base.
Read the app. Read that sentence again.
According to the founder and CEO of Mastodon, Mastodon's user base between the 2nd of October and 8th of October was underestimated thanks to network connectivity issues with a statistics aggregator. The app actually has 407,814 more monthly active users than previously reported. This brings Mastodon's overall monthly user base to 1.8 million.
The app. The first word of that last sentence was the app.
The app has more users than it previously reported.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Mastodon's new sentence, Mastodon's overall monthly user base, not app base, user base, is 1.8 million.
So but he's referring to Mastodon the app, and not Mastodon social the server. Mastodon.social. Right?
I wonder why. Well, Mastodon the app is separated from Mastodon social, the network, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a
why would the
separate thing.
CEO of Mastodon.social, the network, be talking about Mastodon app?
What does it say? He's this because it's two separate entities,
Once
and
again,
he
this is
does
why we are having issues trying to figure this out, because you can inflate
well.
anything then.
It's kind of different because you can connect different apps to the same server is why it's federated. So there's also
Yeah,
like
but
Tusky.
this is the problem, because the big numbers that you see people you were talking about, like, the 38 million and all this, that's
Yeah,
all messages posted to anything federated media, because they can count that and point in one direction, because it's all federated then. And that's
that
not fair
was
to any of it.
that was that was server side connections is
And
what that
server
showed.
side connections is different than a connection is more than just a monthly user. Every time you
That
post
was
something, it creates a new connection, right?
server side users is what that showed. Let me let me Uh, da, da, da.
Because if
Do, 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 do.
there's an official API that retrieves all users who have logged in at least once in the last month that covers all instances known. So join Mastodon/servers. So anything that's in all of those, even there, their network health is 1.5 million active users, according to
Nine.
joinmastodon.org/servers. So
Join
even
Mass.
on their website there, data collection by crawling all accessible Mastodon servers on December 25th, 2023, with a monthly active users of 1.5 million. So they are way back down to 1.5 mil then across all of Mastodon servers. So not just mastodon.social, but everything on the Mastodon, joinmastodon.org's website under their servers. So they're down to 1.5 mil monthly active users.
That's not what I was saying earlier.
I just, like I said, that's if you go to joinmastodon.org/servers, that's looking at that is where I'm getting these latest numbers. And they said the
Yeah.
data collected, that was the last data collection or crawl was on Christmas. So it has absolutely tanked. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because it says there's currently 9,828,000 users connected.
Yep. But
Like currently.
where does it say that?
Observable HQ.
You send me a link to that real quick? I'm curious about these disconnects in these things because it's I'm trying to think of if they're saying that this is the monthly users and it's all connected, does that mean like how are they aggregating what's a monthly user and what's a connected entity? Because the
Yeah.
monthly users are, if you log in 2 months in a row, you are now part of their monthly active.
Yeah.
Current connections could mean a lot of other different things because you got to think for you, if you have an app, you have a website, you have a few things, that's multiple connections, but it's only one person, which means it's
Yeah.
only one user.
Yeah, but I'm also not part of the Mastodon. I'm part of the federated universe, but I'm not part of the Mastodon. I don't count in this. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you should. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I should, but I don't.
There's no anyone can make up anything and you have to then disprove of negative because there is no system to figure this out. And I think it's by design.
I think they're probably just underreporting numbers.
But the fact that you and I are two of the most tech savvy people and we're confused on how these numbers even work shows you. I mean, at this point, are they now trying to hide numbers? Is that what's going on?
It could be. That very well could be.
Because that's just, I don't know.
I don't know.
So, fedadb.org, the Fediverse network statistics.
I don't know, because I've seen all sorts of freaking numbers all over the place. Mastodon Analytics has shown like different numbers too, and
Because this is now showing popular software by user count. So they count number of users in each of these. See, I don't know how these work.
yep.
They're very cagey about what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Here's a Reddit post. How are active users estimated? Probably a lot of like, meh, meh.
I don't know. The fact that we even have to talk about it that way is yeah.
That's what I
I
wonder.
don't know.
I wonder if they're underreporting numbers just to like stay out of the verses. Like they don't want to be in the fight. You know what I mean?
It's
If there's going to be
just weird of how you can't get any information on it.
yeah. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Federated's the future.
As long as it easily connects and every single server can abide by the same basic moderation rules, then yes, it will be the future. But the moment that you start having issues with not being able to get things or things being pushed out, it's gonna take some massive problems. Nazi shit and child shit are gonna be it. And unless you can get everyone to agree on certain sets of rules for that,
Huh?
you're gonna end up running into problems.
Well, that's where it's at. It's like it's going to be the same as trying to get Gab and Truth Social off the internet. Like we
Yeah, but at
can't do
least
it.
there's one company you can hold responsible for, and it's
Yeah.
happened before. The problem with the federated system is that if just anyone can join, you're going to have problems because everyone wants so and this is the way it's going to get looked at, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing, but from a system of where we regulate certain things, this is a regulations nightmare. I mean, even 4chan had to change up stuff for regulatory purposes.
Yeah, and the people left and made 8chan, and now they're out on their own and unregulated again.
I believe even 8chan is run into regulatory issues again.
Well, if they do, they'll just leave and do it again.
I don't know. It's just I'm
There's always
very I'm
there's always
very
a
I'm very
loophole.
hesitated. Oh, there's always a loophole. But when you purposely block out the loophole, then it becomes there's a reason why 8chan isn't popular. That's
Yeah,
because it's known as a cesspool.
but
And
that's where QAnon came from, and now look at where we're at, Dave.
yeah, some of it may have originated from 8chan, but then it moved to 4chan and got popular again.
Well, it birthed there, and now it's like one of the more popular things in the whole fucking planet. There's people in Canada that think that Donald Trump is their president too, because of QAnon.
Because they're idiots.
Because of 8chan. So.
No, I hope it works out. Like it would be awesome if it did, because there's a lot of benefits that could come from it, but I think we're going to be running into a lot of problems.
Well, there's a lot of problems all over the place, and we run into them every day. So we just got to learn. We did whole podcasts episodes on how
I know.
how to handle these things. So we just gotta, deal with them as we come along, and we're gonna figure it out because that's what we
Yep.
do, Dave. This is how we handle things. We're working on Internet 4.9, 10. I don't know where we're at now. I've
I don't
lost
know.
count. I've been around a long time, Dave.
Well, so have I, which is why I don't see this lasting that long, because we've already been through all this once before. We're
Yeah,
just recycling old shit at this point.
yeah, but we're gonna do it better again.
There's a
Or
reason why
more
a
better.
IRC was dropped for things like AIM and ICQ.
IRC is still a thing.
It
ICQ
is. It's
isn't.
just no. ICQ is definitely still a thing.
AIM isn't though.
Nope. ICQ is though.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You can find us on ICQ at wonderberry.icq. And at that note,
Jesus, they had ICQ's last stable release was released in 22.
huh,
They're still kicking it out. Jeez.
look us up at icq.wonderberry.com.
Oh, they added VoIP client stuff in there too. Interesting.
But seriously, we do need to wrap it up because I'm going to
Yeah,
go
I
and
know.
have a pee.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Make
This
sure you
is
drop your balls.
our final episode for 2023, as I had said very unceremoniously in the beginning. And
This is our final episode.
as always, it was fun figuring this shit out with you. And we'll continue to argue about the Fediverse becoming popular. But no, that's why I think that Threads is so important. Because I think if it's going to happen, it's got to be a company that people already use and trust to get people in.
Trust. Sure, Dave. Thanks for that. I trust that this is the worst goddamn timeline, and that's why Zuckerberg's going to do it.
Well, no one
Here we
else has
are.
managed to do it yet.
Yeah.
Even Mastodon couldn't do it.
Wow. Oh well.
I mean, once Threads joins the metaverse or the Fediverse, and Threads is full on in there, they will
Just
quadruple
stick
the
it in,
size
Zuck.
of it. Quadruple the size of it overnight.
More than that, they said
So
they're back up over 100 million, I think.
They'll do more. They'll do more the minute they flip the switch than Mastodon has managed to pull off in a decade.
Yeah.
And that should tell you everything you need to know about the people who have been involved in the Fediverse up to this point.
Wish you could get the full Fediverse numbers. That'd be nice to know.
FediDB looks like it's fairly. It looks like it's fairly active.
Do some digging. I'll do some digging this week, and we'll talk to CT, see what he's got to say.
You
Make him build a thing.
He's not exactly. I don't know. We'll see.
Anyways, later.
Later.